The purpose of this video is to talk about the Schoology expectations for grades DK through 5 with a specific look at posting assignments in grades 3 through 5, which is optional, but it's nice to start dabbling in it when you're ready. So we're going to head on over to my Schoology page, and I'm going to select a course that I want to make the assignment in. When I go into my course, I want to take a look at the folders that I've created, and specifically my content area folders. So here's my math content area folder that I created. I'm going to create an assignment. So I want to go into that folder so that I can find it, so my students can find it. Now, I created a Unit 1 folder, and I'm going to make an assignment in that folder. So once I'm inside the folder that I want to create the assignment in, because my assignment has to do with Unit 1 in math, I'm going to hit Add Materials. At the top, there is the option to add an assignment. I'm going to select that, and I need to name my assignment. Now, here in the description is where I need to be very specific about my expectation of what they are to do. So perhaps there's a link that I want them to go to where there are some algebra problems or algebraic expressions that they need to solve. Or maybe I have them create 5 problems to explain the situation, and I'm going to keep going to describe that fully. I might also add a file here from my personal files. I might add a link to help them to complete the assignment, maybe some with these specific problems, or maybe something that would be helpful. Or I might have already created resources that I've saved on Schoology in the past. I also really like this audio recording because I can explain to them how to complete something. One idea for this is if you are differentiating in your classroom and you have different assignments for each group, you can do the explanation right here with an audio so that each group or each student individually can listen to their directions. And I really like that when that's individualized like that. Or you can add an external tool as well. And you have to go into here to do that. So the next thing you need to do is create a due date. Make that due on the 13th of June. You want to make sure that this time is good for you. End of the day, great. If you want it due at the end of before lunch, you might want to change that time. It will show them that it is late. It will say late on their assignment if it's not submitted by the time that is indicated there. Then you want to look at your grading options here. And you might create something that's ungraded, but most likely you'll be creating something that goes into a category. So we're going to want to set that up, whether it is math homework or math assessments. We're going to name this one math homework because that's where we're going to have that. Now I just accidentally X'd out of that or got out of that, so I'm going to go back in by hitting edit. It'll continue to let me work on this assignment. So I did put it in a category. This is only going to be worth 10 points. Here you have the option to give a letter grade to something. You might even create a rubric to grade it. Now, if you have rubrics that have been created before, they will actually appear in this pull-down menu. So once you've created something, it will appear there every time you go to the scale or the rubric option. Now, I was mentioning before how you can individually assign something to different groups. This is where you do that. Now, you're going to begin typing here, and the students' names will start to pop up. And you can put whatever students you want for that particular assignment. If it's for a whole group, then you just don't choose this. You can also align your learning objectives right here. Why I like that is because it will start to break down your different data points for who's getting what. So let's say I assign this one to analyze patterns in relationships, and I put this directly attached to the assignment. Now, if I assign a different assignment with that same learning expectation right here, it will tell me how the student is doing with that specific objective if this is tied to the assignment. And I really appreciate that to help me differentiate for my students. You can lock an assignment, which you have to unlock later. You can enable submissions, or you can disable submissions. So maybe it's something you want them to do and then show you as opposed to submitting it. You can unpublish it for later. You can look at grading statistics here. And then I like to actually take the comments off just because I don't find that usually the comments are not very helpful. Now, if you have a student group that you can train to help each other with different assignments using that feature, it might be nice as well. So that's kind of the ins and outs of how to make an assignment. And I'm going to save the changes for that assignment. You'll see that it comes up here briefly. Now, if we go to the calendar, I'm going to go back to the home page for this course. I'll show you how that appears on the calendar. Go here. It shows right here that this is something that is due coming up. And it will also show that it's due here on our calendar. So that's a nice feature there that allows parents and kids to see when the different due dates are for the assignments.